That we bring in Republican Congressman Mike Gallagher of Wisconsin, a U.S. Marine veteran who serves on the Armed Services Committee. Congressman, great to have you with us today. This latest reporting that Russia will basically claim victory in Mariupol, at least for now, and then begin to try to annex some of these areas that would give them control over that east to the south area along the Black Sea. What do you make of that contention on their part, and can they pull that off?
Well, the fact that they've suffered massive losses is the good news, but the bad news is Putin has recalibrated, and no matter how many casualties his forces take, they want to take the South. Furthermore, we're more than 3 months into this invasion, and the Biden administration is reportedly still only considering sending Ukraine advanced anti-ship missiles. This has really been a troubling theme of our response so far. We're so afraid of provoking Putin that Biden doesn't take action. They delay, they dither, they don't do anything. We simply cannot allow the Russians to dominate the Black Sea. If they dominate the Black Sea, they can blackmail not only Ukraine, they can blackmail the world by effectively forcing 44 million people into starvation by controlling the grain supplies. So I think we're going to look back on the decision by the administration and NATO to proactively pull our warships out of the Black Sea as one of our biggest blunders. But there are things we can do to threaten Russian warships so they don't have that level of sea control that they would greatly desire.
President Zelensky has said that he believes the bloodiest part of these battles are still ahead. Here he is speaking about the current battle for the Donbass region.
The armed forces of Ukraine continue the liberation of the Kharkiv region. But in Donbass, the occupiers are trying to increase pressure. There's hell, and that's not an exaggeration.
You know, I think this $40 billion in aid that is now being signed by the president, there have been a lot of questions about it, but obviously it was passed in a bipartisan way. What do you think about the oversight of this money and whether or not it's going to be used to the greatest effect possible?
Well, it's critical we do robust oversight. We don't want the money wasted. And a lot of the money is going to replenish our own stockpiles, which is critical because we're running low. We've gone Winchester. We've gotten rid of all of our magazines for critical munitions like Javelin, Stingers. We need to rebuild those. But I think in light of how massive of a package that was, it's really time for Europe to step up, Martha, and start sending a commensurate amount of aid to Ukraine. In France, as a percentage of a GDP, are sending about 1/3 of what we're sending. So they need to step up, follow our lead, and please, can someone in the administration please tell the Germans and the French, particularly Macron, to stop calling Putin? You know, that's making us look weak. It's undermining our position. He needs to feel isolated, not embraced. Our Secretary of Defense called his Russian counterpart to propose a ceasefire. That's premature. Zelensky, until he's ready, we shouldn't be putting that on the Ukrainians.
Yeah, it's a great point. We've heard so much about how combined and how loyal and, sort of fortified NATO is, and yet we don't see the kind of commitment on the part of these countries that we should be seeing. And it may be because there's not strong enough leadership to say, you know, we're in, but only if you're in to the same extent. It's a great point. Congressman Mike Gallagher, thank you. Very good to see you, sir.
Thank you.